Hey, this is the Grappler Len Denton. Give me back my pro wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast, and I'm here as always with my brother from the same father and mother, the Plastic Sheik, Jared Street. What is up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. How about yourself?
Man, I am doing awesome, having a great day. We got some cool things going on the show. Obviously, we got some cool things, but how are you doing?
I'm doing good, brother, but to step outside wrestling a little bit, our Reds couldn't do us any favors in the playoffs and win a game or anything, so we're used to it.
Yeah, we're used to it and kind of getting really sick of it, actually. So,
yeah.
Wounds are a little fresh. I don't know if I'll like them again by the start of opening day. It's a bad. It's an abusive cycle. Let's just say that. So
it is. I don't know why. I don't know why we let sports teams get us. They can get me in a bad mood. So I don't know.
Yeah. And I've really tried to absolve that because, I've really tried to get rid of that. I mean, but
the Reds still probably got you the worst, and then probably the Hokies a little second for you. So
yeah, the Hokies just don't even bother me anymore. It's just they don't care. But this is a wrestling podcast. Let's go ahead. But today we have an excellent show, and that is the Grappler Len Denton is here. Of course, we're doing this with Captain's Corner for the Portland Wrestling Expo 2, Saturday, February 21st, Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. Yes, that is right. We have Len Denton, the Grappler, today on the show. We told y'all last week, but yeah, we're stoked about this one, right, Sheik?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. He's been everywhere. Wrestled a little bit of everybody. He's going to have some good stories. I know it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's full of good stories, and I'm just very, very happy that he's here today. But other thing that I'm extremely happy about was our last episode with the one and only World's Strongest Man, Ted Arcidi. Got a lot of great reviews back. Very much appreciated from all our listeners. Really appreciate that. Ted is one of a kind, man. He's original.
Oh, yeah, man. And I didn't realize until we were, interviewed him how much in the acting world he's dipped his toes into. I mean, he's had some good spots on a lot of shows people have heard of. And, he texted you the other day about a movie he repped that he's in that Cameron Diaz, and that's pretty cool. So
I know. Yeah, he sent a picture from set. That's really awesome. I was very cool of him to do that. But anyway, thank you all for listening to that excellent episode. That's a benchmark episode for us, if that makes any sense. It's one of the episodes that we've wanted from the start. So happy that we got to make that happen. But I definitely want to give a shout out to a new friend of the show here, John LaRocca. I've become friends with him. He is the host of the Fight Game podcast. He's a long time. He's got ties with a lot of big name behind the scenes guys. He's actually done some work in the business himself. John, it's really cool to know you and meet you and get to know you through this podcasting game. He did say that when we posted the Ted Arcidi post, he said, I know exactly what question the Plastic Sheik's going to ask him. Yeah, that was a no-brainer. But also, he said congrats on the 100th episode. So definitely appreciate that. And
Yeah,
Rick Reynolds did too, and Ben Jordan as well. So thank you guys. We definitely appreciate that. Means the world. But I tell you what, I mean, do you have anything else before we go into Lenny?
I'm ready to talk to him, man. Let's go.
All right. I think that sounds like a good plan. We'll be right back with the Grappler Len Denton on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling. after these messages.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy. You can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.
All right, we are back with more from the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast. And today, Jared, we've got an excellent guest. We've got an absolute legend. Of course, we've been talking with Nick about, the Portland Wrestling Expo on Saturday, February 21st at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. And I know a man that knows just where that is, and he's on the show today, Mr. Len Denton, the Grappler. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother, and I'm looking forward to that, the second annual Pro Wrestling Expo that Nick's going to have there in Portland, and it's the 100th anniversary of Portland Wrestling. It should be a great show, and I can't wait to be there.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That makes it even more special. Yeah, 100 years.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff. That's a lot of history there.
True, I'm telling you, brother, there's so many wrestlers. It's unbelievable, and so many years of wrestling. And I tell you, the great promoter, Don Owens, he was something else, man. I really enjoyed working for Don. We had a lot of ups and downs, but most of them were ups, and we had some great matches and great crowds there in Portland Wrestling. I love being there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they loved you too, brother, because every time we talk Portland wrestling, the Grappler comes up. There's no way around it. It's like Rip Oliver, Don Owens, and the Grappler.
Yeah.
So,
when I worked for Don, Rip Oliver was leaving to go to WWE, and he called me up and said, "You interested in booking?" I was in World Class for the Von Erichs at the time. And I'd already run my course. I'd been there about a year. It's about time to move on, And he called me. I guess Joey Jackson was there. I trained Joey Jackson years ago. I sent him up to Portland, and he was there. And Rip Oliver and Top Gun, Dave Sierra, they were there at the time. And they spoke up for me. And then Don actually called Bob Geigel, he was the president of the NWA at the time. And him and Harley Race owned the Kansas City territory. And I had booked that territory for about a year before I went into World Class. And so that's how they heard about it. Them guys brought me up. Rip said, "Hey, I'm leaving." And I was Don had never really had an official booker. Of all those years, believe it or not, he just had the guys help out and figure out TV. But he hired me as his first official booker in Portland after all those years. And so that's how I got the job and went into Portland,
That's very cool. Well, we start every podcast off with the first question of the show, and that goes to my brother, the Plastic Sheik. So take it away, Sheik.
All right, Len.
Yes,
so if you had this is going to let the listeners get to know you as far as your influences maybe in wrestling, or who you like to work with, or who you like to, watch, or who, inspired you or whatever. If you had a Mount Rushmore, so give me like 4 or 5 names of people in the wrestling business that you would consider like your Mount Rushmore.
Well, one of them was Harley Race, of course. Me and Ric Flair. I tell you, one of the greatest years I had in wrestling, which was a very important one too, because it helped me learn so much, was with Ric Flair. Ric Flair, what happened was Ric Flair was in Charlotte. This is before he got the world title the first time. They were kind of grooming him for it, but he he was on top in Charlotte. He was selling out everywhere, but he had a brand new Cadillac and a brand new Lincoln. He wasn't exaggerating there. And he on his interviews, yeah, he really did have that. And he lost his license. He got too many speeding tickets.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we were doing TV in Raleigh. That's where we did TV every Wednesday. And the promoter came in. Who was just see? It was Mid-Atlantic. We were in the Mid-Atlantic territory, of course.
Yeah.
And it was a Crockett's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Crockett came in and went, "Hey, Rick, listen, you're on all the main events, all over the territory. Because you got to get there on time. Pick one of these rookies to be you want for a driver, and he'll drive you to all the shows." I didn't know all this. This is in the back. But Rick come out, and for some reason, there was a bunch of us rookies there. I don't know why. I knew Rick, and we said hello in the dressing room, and we talked a lot, off and on. But he just said, "I want Len Denton to drive me." And brother, that was one of the best and educational. Yeah, what a break. I mean, I was there. I drove him. I was in the first match. And then plus I get to watch Rick work and all the other guys, and it was sold out just about every time. And then he took care of the car. He took care of the gas. He took care of anything, hotel. And plus I was making good money because every show I was on was sold out. And then, brother, the most important part is he took care of the liquor and the women, daddy. Woo, what a great year. But that was a good part of it, but that was candy on ice on top of the cake.
Yeah.
But we would go down the road, and I'd say, "Rick, will you help me with promos?" And he'd say, "Okay, you got a 3-minute interview, wrestling, Ted DiBiase, and a cage match. Tell me, great, ready to go." We'd work on promos, and he would give me, psychology about how to have the matches proper. He'd watch my match. I got a hell of an education. It really helped my career.
No
But
doubt.
so Ric Flair's one of them.
Yeah.
Harley Race was great. Harley Race taught me unbelievable stuff about booking, and also I worked with him a lot. He was great. I mean, he could work with a broomstick, man. He was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say 3 other guys. You wanted 5? I'd say me and Ted DiBiase had great matches. And me and Jake Roberts, Jake the Snake. We invented the DDT on accident one time. We had great matches every time. Rick Morton, and Rick Martel. I can go on and on. There's a ton of them. Tommy Rich. Those guys stick out to me.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's a fabulous list.
Yeah.
But is the toughest guy on your list, is that Harley?
Probably physically toughest guy, was probably Harley as far as a straight up shoot or like a fight.
Yeah, shoot, yeah.
But as far as worker, I would say Rick Martel, Ric Flair, Ricky Morton, those guys. I mean, they were all great. Harley was a great worker too, but he was a double tough son of a gun. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You didn't want to mess with Harley.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I was ribbing one time Harley in the ring, and Flying married him, got a reverse chin lock on him.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of raised up and put the ball up the back of his head on my chest and leaned down and cut his wind off. He went, he kind of cut his wind off. He goes, sit out and tore my shoulder out. That quick. I was tapping. No, quick, I'm sorry. He goes, "Don't mess around, kid." Oh, cow, dude! I started something I couldn't stop, brother. I was tapping like a sissy. Please, you're killing me.
I mean, nobody blames you for that, brother. Come on. Yeah. You can take that one for the team, and we understand, man.
Brother, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, who trained you, man? Who trained you?
Well,
and where
there
did
was
you
a
find
guy. If people ask me that, and I tell them, and nobody goes, "Who in the hell was that?" There was a guy. I know there was a guy. He wrestled. Is Joe Pizza, Joe something else. His name was Joe. I can't even say his last name. He was Italian, and he lived here in Houston. He wasn't really a top guy. He worked like, job, middle of the road type guy,
Yeah.
And he had school here, and my dad happened to see the ad in the TV guide of all things, and he was starting a school, and him and Nick Kozak were buddies, the referee Nick Kozak.
Yep.
And Nick was wrestled to him and Nick, which Paul Bosch, was every Saturday night here, I believe it was on Saturday TV, here in Houston, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so Nick was a referee, and him and the guy were buddies. So that's how I got my break. Once I trained with him, Nick had his brother, Jerry Kozak, was running towns for the Amarillo territory, over and Theory and Dory Funk owned that, and so they got me. And remember, have you ever seen a guy working named Gary Young?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, me and Gary trained together.
Okay.
And we both got sent to Amarillo, and then he got picked up, and I got fired before I even worked. They fired me. They said I was too small. They fired me, and yeah, I was. Well, I went in there, and you got at that day and time in the dressing room at TV was Abdul the Butcher, Cyclone Negro, which weighed about 280.
Right.
Abdul the Butcher, Weed Hansen weighed 330.
Yeah.
Dan Hansen, all these guys, and I come in. I was 5'10", weighed 187 pounds. And so and freckle face, 17-year-old kid. They go, "What are you doing here?" I want to be a wrestler, sir. They go, "Yeah, no kidding." And the guy who fired me was Art Nelson. He wrestled with a hood.
Yeah.
He was about 270 or 80.
Big boys.
But
yeah.
What happened from there was I went my last show. Let me tell you. I'll tell you the story. Here's how. Okay, I went to Amarillo, right?
Yeah.
I went there. I got fired the first day. I didn't even work yet, and they said, "Well, what we're going to do is," so then they come out with a booking sheet, and they said, "Okay, we're going to let you referee. We're going to give you a week, a couple of weeks to get your money to get home on, right?"
Yeah.
I said, "Okay." And so I looked, I was refereeing 4 times and wrestling twice, and I go, "Well, Joe trained us." He said, "Hey, listen, you ain't no referee. You tell him you wrestle when you get over there." I don't know why he told us that, but I went and told Art Nelson that. He goes, "You know what?" He was in the middle of doing TV. I was so smart. I walked up, stopped him in the middle of everything. "Sir, excuse me. I'm not a referee." It says right here. He goes, "What'd you say?" He said, "You know what you can do? You can take that booking sheet and you can do your refereeing, or you can wipe your ass on it and go home right now." And I go, "I guess I'm refereeing." I was more curious on whoop my ass, and that was the refereeing part, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I went and I did it, and now it was all, and I just paid. I'm going to be honest with you. Back in '77 when I broke in.
Okay. Yeah.
And I saved all summer. I had $3,000, and I paid Joe that trained me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot of money back in '77.
Definitely.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so I paid. That's a lot of money to me now.
Exactly.
So I paid him $3,000, and I got there and got fired the first day I was there. And then the last show was Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they come to me, and it's about 200 miles or so from Amarillo, but it's up in the mountains and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come to me and they said, "Look," Art Nelson said, "Look, you pick up Abdullah, and he's gonna ride with you there and back. You make sure he gets there and back." I go, "Okay, yes, sir." So I got Abby, and he got in the back seat. I'm driving like Mrs. Daisy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Abby's in the back sleeping, and then he wakes me up. "Hey, pull in here to McCary. We got to go to the buffet." The guy woke up enough to go eat. The guy went back to sleep, right? We get to Albuquerque. We do the thing, the show. We're leaving, and of all things, right before I get to Amarillo, this is my last show, and I blow the motor of my car.
Oh.
No.
So now I paid $3,000, got fired the first week, and I blowed the motor of my car. I got to call my dad and borrow money to get my car fixed. To get home. And so I call you can imagine how depressed I was, right?
Oh,
with the wrestling business. I go, man, so I called my dad. He sent me some money. I think it was $1,000, which is a lot of money back then.
Seriously.
I got the guys to rebuild the motor. I stayed with Sputnik Monroe, of all people, for 2 or 3 days while they were doing the motor. And he tried to get me booked, but he couldn't get me booked. And so now on the way back from Albuquerque, I told Abdullah this whole story, right?
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Listen, kid, here's what you do." I'll never forget this. He goes, "You fill out and write a letter to Dory Funk Jr. He owns this territory in Amarillo. And you tell him how thankful you are giving you a try. And you tell him if there's any way you can get me booked somewhere else, I'd like to continue my wrestling career. I appreciate everything, sir. And thank you very much. And please, and put your phone number and say, call me if anything. You think of anything I can do." And you seal it and you give it to the office. They'll give it to him when you leave. So I did that before I went to Albuquerque. After I got back from Albuquerque, while they were working on my car. Anyway, so it went about, 4 or 5 days, I think it was, before the motor was fixed.
Yeah.
And so then I called my dad, and of course I called collect because I had no money. I called collect, and my dad says, "Hey, your car ready?" Yes, and you need to get your ass home because Dory Funk Jr. called me yesterday. Said you're booked in Mid-South with Bill Watt for 2 weeks. Get home and get ready. He goes, "I'm on the way, buddy." And that's where my career. And I didn't look back from there.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
I went there. You know, thank God for Abdullah telling me that. You know.
Yeah.
Dory Funk Jr. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. That was so cool of Abdullah to do that. I mean, that really was, you know.
It was cool. It's cool of Dory to call Bill. At the time, Bill Watts had just took, well, they say stole. I don't know what happened, but he took over Leroy McGurk's end of the territory. So he was hiring just about anybody because he needed a lot of talent. He's running a couple of towns a night, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's how I ended up getting the job. And then I got there and I hooked up with Port Top Cash and got in the gym. And then they started giving these little things. They're little white pills blue pills called Dynaball. Anyway, I got bigger. I don't know what happened, but I got bigger.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they started booking me everywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So who was your first like official match against? And was it in Mid-South? I'm sure that's what you're saying.
Well, I had my first match in the guy that trained us, Joe, which he did a hell of a job. I can't knock Joe, but I still knock him anyway because he was a pretty good asshole. But he trained us. We had to build the ring for him. Then we had to go there early and set the ring up at the spot shows. Once we all got trained, we'd get real early and set the ring. Then we come walking in like we're big stars. We wrestle and then we wait till everybody leaves and we tear the ring down and then take it back. And the next day we had to be at the school ready to set it up again so we could train.
Yeah.
But that was the one of those matches was my first match was in Brenham, Texas. I wrestled. The guy was named Joe. I can't remember his last name. It's so long ago. He wore a hood, and I wrestled him as a babyface. You know, it's like I was. You know, I tell you what. Whenever I tell you how much it changed when I came from Mid-South back. I was there about 8 months before I came back home, and I told you I left. I was 17. I weighed 189, 187. I remember I weighed every day. I was trying to gain weight, get bigger. And then when I got up there, I'll come home about 8 months later. I got home a little earlier than I told my mom and dad I'd get in because for some reason I didn't time it right. Anyway, I come walking in. My dad was still at work, and my mom was cooking, his dinner in the living room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the kitchen. So I come walking through the living room. When I come walking through the living room, the door's open back in. So I just walked in the house and walked through the living room. And all of a sudden, my mom looked up. She took off running for the back porch. Like she started running to go outside. I said, "Mama!" Like that. She stopped, turned around, went, "Lynn?" She didn't even recognize me. That's how much I'd changed.
Yeah.
I had a full beard. I was like 30 pounds heavier. He goes, "Is that you?" I said, "Yes." She's, "My God, you look like a different person."
Yeah.
I go, "That wrestling's tough, boy. That wrestling's tough on the man."
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, okay. So I was looking through your stuff. We got a great researcher on our team, Quinton. Shout out to him. 1978, you got an NWA Florida TV title match against champion Jerry Briscoe. How was it working Jerry that early in your career?
Well, bro, all they did was go out there and mess. Jerry used to mess with me so bad. I remember before that one time we were in a tag match, me and him.
Yeah.
Me and somebody against him, just another job guy against him and Jack, right?
Yeah.
And we're at TV, and Jerry's standing behind Jack, and we're waiting on the bell. And then, Gordon Soley was in the announcer. It was great, man.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's looking over Jerry's shoulder going like this. Look at me and mouthing this. Take him down. Take him down. I go, hell no. I'm not taking Jack Briscoe down on TV. And he goes, "You don't do it, you're fired." He kept doing that. So we got in the ring, and of course, Jack starts the match with me. And I look, and Jerry's going, look at him like, "You better do it. You better do it." So I took Jack down. And, brother, I got him up in the air. When he hit the mat, he landed on his hands and his feet.
Yeah.
And he reversed and set out and tied me. He had both my legs tied up in grapevine and both my arms. I'm screaming. He goes, It's like breaking it, right?
Yeah.
And I look, and Sonny Myers, I never forget, Sonny Myers is the referee, old Bones, and he goes, "You give up, kid?" I said, "Yes." It's like that, loud as hell on TV. He goes, "Nah, hang in there. You can take a little more." Guys wouldn't even let you tap out. They were killing me. Finally, Jack got tired of messing with me and let me go. I tagged out and didn't come in the rest of the match. But that working with Jerry was good. I remember one time I worked with him, and it was I keep thinking that it's about 50 miles south of or north of Tampa, where they have that big highlight thing where they pay highlight or whatever that stuff is. Way there.
Oh yeah.
It was, I can't remember the name of the town. It was 50 miles north, and so we worked it, and I'm working with Jerry, and so I came in, and the guy seen me. I was sitting there with some of the boys. The boys are always stirring, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the dressing room, and Jerry and Jack, they're from Oklahoma. I'm from Texas, right?
Yeah.
And I had a shirt on that said, "Oh, Texas #1, Oklahoma sucks." A T-shirt.
Yeah.
And they said, "If you don't wear that to the ring to wrestle Jerry tonight, you ain't got a hair on you." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
I go, "Dude, he's gonna kill me if he sees me with this T-shirt on." So I wore it out there. Jerry comes along. He didn't even know it. He come along. He got up in the ring. He looked over and seen me. He jumped on me. He tore that shirt in 20 pieces. Golly. I said, I'm kidding, Jerry. I'm just kidding. No. But then he would settle down. We'd have a match. I always had good matches with Jerry.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, man.
So in December of '78, in some of our researches, we found that there's a wrestler named the Grappler that shows up in Florida. Is that you?
In '78?
Yeah.
No, there ain't no way. I was in Louisiana in '78.
Okay.
I was still doing jobs as Len Denton, trying to learn. I don't know. I never seen that. It's weird. You know what? I never heard that before. That's cool. I like to see that.
Yeah.
Who was that? You don't know?
I don't know. We thought it might be you. That's what.
That's the problem. Is it directs
because I didn't start the grappler thing till like 80, 81.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what we thought. But you see this stuff and you don't know if they were testing you on it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Well, so just before that, you show up in Calgary. How did you get booked up there, and how was it working with the Hearts?
Okay, I was in Germany, and once I was in Mid-Atlantic for Crockett's, right? And
right. Yeah.
Moose Moravsky. I don't know if you ever heard of Moose Moravsky.
Yeah.
Anyway, Moose is a good friend of mine. He passed away, I heard, but he was a good, and he would teach me how to lift weights and get bigger. He'd show me how to work. So he was just a good guy. Moose was, right?
Yeah.
And we made a lot of trips together. So it was time for me to leave, but he said, okay. So he just, I tell you what, you want to make a tour in Germany? Because he had connections in Germany, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, yeah, it's 6 weeks. And so I went over there, and that's where I met Dynamite. Me and Tommy, I met him, and I met Bret Hart and different guys, but me and Tommy got to be buddies, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so then, me and Tommy go work out together on Sundays. He would show me how to shoot a little bit and different stuff,
Yeah.
But we went. So then I come back, and I was supposed to get a big break in Knoxville, Tennessee. That was like my first big break, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was. Well, no, it wasn't my first big break. It was I don't know. Anyway, so I went to there, and it didn't work out. It's whenever the Pullers were running it. I think it was Pullers something happened. The territory they had a bunch of opposition stuff going on, and they just didn't give me the push. So I was there about 4 or 5 weeks, and I just said, I got to get out of here. And so I guess I sent pictures to up to Stu, because I talked to Tommy and them. And said, I said, man, I ain't never going to Calgary. I don't go way up there, for Stu Hart. But I'll be damned, I sent pictures, and of course he hired me, right?
Yeah.
When we come in. I'll tell you what's the funny one. That's how I got there, but I'll tell you what's the funny one. When I was in Germany, me and Tommy, we dressed right beside each other. That's how I met him, right?
Yeah.
And we got to talk and be buddies and all that. And so I had a nice, Clifford was the guy that made boots for us in Houston, where I'm from.
Right.
For a lot of the guys,
right.
Our player, everybody.
Yeah.
And so I had a real nice pair of boots I just had made, and Tommy really liked them because, man, we wore the same size. We wore 10, right?
Uh-huh.
And he said, Lenny, after your own person night, he said, I'm on the season semi-Iron Man. He said, can you care about try those boots out? I'd like to wear them, see how they work, in them. So I said, hell, I don't care. Here, so I give them to him. He wore them out there, and he come back, man, I like them boots, dude. I need a pair like that. He said, listen, maybe if I give you the money, when you go home, you live in Houston, right? I said, yeah. He goes, will you mail them back to me in Calgary? Give me a pair. I said, yeah. So he gave me the money for it and everything. So I took it, and I went to Houston, had Clipper make exact pair like I had, right?
Yeah.
And so, so I was boxing them up, and I'm at my mom and dad's house, and I box them up, and I look out the back window, and the next door neighbor, is out in the rural part of Texas, right? And I see a Shetland pony out there, and there's piles of shit all in the dried shit, all in the field. Right? I go, you know what? I went and got me some of that dried shit. I put it in a plastic bag. I stuck it in that boot, and I wrote a note that said, hey, brother, I just figured I'd send you a nice gift. You like a little Texas gold. Have a good time, Tommy. And I mailed it. I thought it was funny and shit, right? I mailed it to Tommy. And I never thought I was going to Calgary. Then that shit didn't work out in Knoxville, and I go to Calgary, and I'm not kidding you. When I pulled up in the cab at the apartments where they're staying, I got out, and the first guy I see on the third floor goes, hey, mate. I look up, and he's got that bag. He's swinging it at me. Come on up, mate. Let's have some fun. I said, Tommy, I didn't mean it, brother. It was just a joke. That was my first day in Calgary.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
So in July of '82, you go work a tour in New Japan.
Yeah.
How'd you get that booking, and was that your first time in Japan?
Well, we were good mid-south and stuff, and me and Murdoch were riding together every night, and getting drunk, and he was killing me. Anyway, so that kid, how'd you like to go to Japan? And I go, okay. And so that's Murdoch's the one that got me booked over there the first time.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Tell us some Dick Murdoch stories, brother, please. Or if you can.
God. I'm like the one, JBL, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me and JBL are good friends. I met JBL. He had a run with Murdoch, too. I didn't know that. So we're in the dressing room, but we're doing shows over here in Texas a lot now, me and JBL and Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
And I go, JBL tells this story. I love it. And this is Dick Murdoch right to the T. Okay.
Yeah.
He always wants to drive when you're going somewhere. No, I don't care if it's your car. He says, I want to drive. I go, so then, and JBL, remember, he goes, yeah, Lenny, I know he's like that. Yeah, he goes, JBL told me, and this is Murdoch. He said he got in the car. He looked like he's about to pass out. He's like so hungover. And he goes, you drive, kid. And he goes, that shocked me because he told JBL to drive, right?
Yeah.
And he said, so they're going to some town in Oklahoma, and they're in Texas. He said, we're driving. And he goes, I look over there, and I'm like, God, he looks really. I said, man, you want me to pull over? He goes, no, hell no, keep going. And so he goes, man, went a little further. And he goes, man, you sure you're going to be okay? You're like, I'm okay, keep going, kid. And he said, finally, we crossed the Red River. We got into Oklahoma, and he told me, pull this shit over. Pull it over now. He got out, and he puked everywhere, Murdoch. And he got back in the car, and he goes, listen, that's something you need to remember. Don't ever throw up in Texas. Wait till you get across the border. In Oklahoma.
Oh, man.
Brother, that's a Murdoch one for real, right there.
Oh, my God.
I rode with him many, many days, and that's something's about to kill me.
Yeah.
He drank and drink.
Oh, my gosh. Dick Murdoch, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what with Dickie. I'll tell you a match I had with Dickie.
Please.
People don't believe this, but really did. Here's that kind of psychology this asshole's got. Or had. He goes like this. We're in Baton Rouge, and we got to go to Shreveport because the next morning we got to do interviews for all the towns, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to be at interviews at 8 o'clock in the morning. But he goes, we're going to make last calls, and we're on the semi. I said, we can't make last call. Hell, it's 180 miles, and most of it's 2-lane road, man. He goes, you saw me. I'm working with him right in the semi. He goes, I said we're making last call. I go, okay. So we get in there, and I thought he was going to go short. You know what he did? We get to going. We do a few spots. He goes, get on my legs. I got on his legs and untie my boot, take my boot off, beat the shit out of me with it. So I did. He said, take the sock off, choke me with it. I did that. He goes, go to the other leg, get the boot off. I got the boot off, beat the hell out of him with it, got the sock off, then boom, he hooked me with a small package. 1, 2, 3, rolled out, and he had his boots and his socks under his arms. By the time I got to the dressing room, he's already showered, come out. Let's go. We're making last call. That's what you call a boot match. That's what you call a boot match, kid.
I love it.
Oh man,
I love
Like,
it.
damn.
He's a genius. He's a genius. Oh my gosh, that's
He was
amazing.
unbelievable. He's ready to go by the time I got back to the dressing room.
Oh my God. And now a word from our sponsor.
Captain's Corner is bracing for a big close to 2025, featuring Glory Days GrappleCon 3 on Saturday, October 25th. Glory Days GrappleCon 3 invades the Hilton Garden Inn in beautiful Lutz, Florida, featuring the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Abdul the Butcher, Barry Windham, Dory Funk Jr., and many more. This will be one of the biggest assemblance of legends to ever hit the Gulf Coast. Then, as the year closes, we focus on the Portland Wrestling Expo 2. Returning to the Holiday Inn, Portland Airport on February 21st, PWE 2 will feature Ken Patera, the Grappler, Gorgeous Joey Jackson, Scott Norton, and over a dozen other stars of the past, present, and future of the Pacific Northwest. Make sure to head on over to Captain's Corner on Facebook and Instagram for full details on both those shows and all of our other signings. Cheers to the working man.
Okay, so this comes to the part of the show that we've got to bring up one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So when did you bring in Tony as the Grappler? What promotion was it for?
Well, I was working. I had already made a run in Mid-South, right?
Yeah, right.
I left there. I went, I can't remember exactly, Florida, different place. And then Watch decided, I did Southwest Championship Wrestling for Blanchard's and all that too. And then Watch decided he's going to bring me back. So I came back, and he was not really doing that much. I mean, still, because I had the former North American champion, all that stuff. So I was getting, a good push and stuff. But he goes, Lenny, Watch is always good. He said he brought in Tim Warner and Tony Anthony, right?
Okay.
And they were just underneath guys, right? They just got trained and all that.
Yeah.
And he said, Watch came to me and said, what do you think about this Anthony kid? And I said, I watched him. I said, he looks good. He can work good. He's got some shit to learn, of course. But I said, he said, you think you can tag with him? I said, oh, hell yeah. He's a good worker. I can tag with him. He said, well, I'm going to put you guys together, and then we'll push you guys to tag. I said, all right. That's how it happened. Watts did that.
Got it. Okay.
Watts put it together, yeah.
Got it. And then in '83, y'all show up in Memphis as the Grapplers, and I guess y'all end up working the Rock and Roll Express basically for the first 3 months. So how'd y'all get to Memphis, and what were your memories of working the Rock and Roll?
Well, I loved working Memphis. It was an easy territory, and it was fun. It was fun to work. We got to Memphis. I forget. I'll tell you a good one. This usually don't happen either. We were working, I think, Southwest. I forget where we were working, me and Tony. I think it was Southwest for Tully as tag.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
After we left Watts that time, we worked tag for Watts for a while, then we went from there, I think, to Tully and them. And so we were there almost a year. And so we said, okay. And I was flying into Memphis, and Tony he's from Knoxville.
Right.
He had his car. He said, for some reason, I was flying in. He's going to pick me up at the airport. We're going to make TV, Saturday morning TV from Memphis, right? And then we're going to do a show that night. I think it was we go to Nashville, I believe, from there. And then I was going to come back. I think we had, I forget what it was, come back and then get my truck and come meet him, fly back to Texas. But anyway, so what was funny about, I never worked Tennessee in my life, at this point.
Okay.
All right, this is the first time I ever worked Tennessee. Tony picks me up at the airport. We get almost to TV. We get real close. We put the hoods on. Nobody knows who the hell we are. We get out. We go in to wrestle. And so we do our shit on TV and all that. And it got over good. So now we're leaving, going back to the car in the parking lot like that after shower. And kids are running to me going, hey, Len Denton, the Grappler. Hey, Len Denton, the Grappler. I go, what the shit? How they know my name? Right? Tony looks at me like, what the? I said, I ain't never worked here, dude. I said, how the hell? So when I walked up to the car, I had my suitcase, right? I threw it in Tony's back seat. It fell up and it fell back up against the window. and the name tag was stuck right against the window. They just walked by and read it off the name tag. They knew my name, address, everything.
Oh my
I go,
gosh.
son of a, I couldn't believe it.
Blew the gimmick.
How often does that happen, brother?
Oh man.
Oh, it's real. I know kids are like, Len Denton, you live in Texas, Len Denton. I'm like, what the shit?
Man.
That's crazy, man.
That's awesome. That's funny.
So in February '84, y'all show up in Central States and eventually work the Oates brothers for the Central States tag titles. How was it working those guys?
Oh, it was good. Them guys, Ted and Jerry, they were good workers, man. I tell you, but usually they had Ted and Funky, what's his name, Ricky Morton.
Oh,
worked with them a lot in the tag. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but Kansas City was what happened. How I got there was me and Brody. I worked with Brody all over the place too, right? So me and Frank were buddies from Texas, so we were buddies. And he goes, he was booking him and Bob, him and Buck Robley.
Okay.
We're booking for Bob Geigel. So Robley called, which Robley's the one who gave my first break in Mid-South, you know.
Yeah.
And so they were booking the territory together. So Buck called me, said, Lenny, I need you guys in here to do the tag thing. I said, okay, with Morton and Lucas. I said, okay. And so we've been working with the Southwest Championship anyway, you know, before that.
Right.
So we went, okay, that's cool. So we go, all right, we'll come in. We're there 2 weeks, and then Robley and Brody quit and leave us there. But we've been there 2 weeks, and they just quit, raced, and Geigel and left the territory and went somewhere else. And so that's when Harley came to me and asked me to take the job as a booker.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my first booking job.
Got it. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So then in August of '84, y'all end up back in Memphis, but this time y'all are the Dirty White Boys. What was the idea to come back to Memphis as the Dirty White Boys?
Well, here's what happened. We were working as grapplers in Memphis the first time.
Yeah, right.
And Eddie Marlin was his name. Helped set up matches and does stuff in the dressing room, right?
Yeah, right.
We went. I went to TV on Saturday, for Memphis, right? And so he comes to me and goes, "Hey, Lenny, I want you to go out and do like a real good promo for Monday night in Memphis at the Coliseum." I said, "What for?" He said, "Well, you got a hair versus mask match against the Bruce Brothers." Yeah. I go, "Well, which one of them are both of them shaving their head, or just one of them?" He goes, "Oh shit, not." He goes, "No, we're going to slide the mask." I said, "No, you're not taking the mask off, Eddie." I said, "I don't know who told you that I'd pull my mask off, but I'm not going to do that, and Tony ain't either. That's our image, dude. That we're building these grapplers. That's what we're building up out here, so we make money, make a living." Well, you know what? He kept on with me. "You know what? Just do the promo, and we'll work something out Monday." I go, "Okay." So I went up there and I just did a Harley race hardcore. Let me tell you something, brother. If I have to reach and pull your eye out and shove it down your throat, there ain't nobody in God's green earth going to ever take this mask off. I just hammered as hard as I could, right? Yeah. So you're going to be a couple of bald-headed Bruce brothers running around Memphis Coliseum. So we got through with that and went to Monday, and he comes to me and goes, "Hey, well, listen, here's what we're going to, bam, bam, they start going for the hood. You fall on your belly, slide out under the bottom rope. We'll have guys there with the towel." I said, "You know what, Eddie? I told you this bullshit. Here we go again. We're not doing it." So I was over by myself. Tony was already dressed in the other dressing room. Yeah. And he said, "Well, I tell you what, if you ain't going to do it, then I guess you're fired." I said, "Well, I guess you need to get my check. My ass ain't doing it." Yeah. All right. So I went over there, and Tony's sitting there. He's bullshit with somebody. I said, "Tony, get your shit off." He goes, "What?" I said, "You just got fired. You didn't even know it." He goes, "I'll be damned." But what I did was, I said, "Tony, wait till the matches start. We're not leaving until the matches start. Right before the matches start, we're going to go wave at the people and wave at them like bye." I said, "Because I know Memphis, they'll put somebody under the hood and tell them to the grappler and pull their hood off. Yeah. So we ain't letting them get away with that shit." Yeah. Oh, they were mad at me. So then we left there and went and worked the other territories. And about a year later, Jimmy Hart called me. Hey, baby, all that shit. Jimmy does, right? Yeah. He goes, "Baby, hey, I got a spot for you, baby. You and Tony, I got a spot. I said, what is it? We'll bring you guys in, the dirty white boys. Blah, 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 blah. And it was Jimmy's idea.
Yeah.
And so I said, hell, I like that idea. He said, okay. So we came in, because I love working Memphis territory. We came back, and you ever seen that video they did on us?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. It looked like two gay guys. You look back at it now. What, was I gay or what? Anyway, but Jimmy saw that whole thing. And you see we're on that motorcycle and stuff.
Yeah.
They took shots of us like we're riding the motorcycle. That motorcycle didn't even run. It wouldn't even start. Yeah. Well, anyway, Jimmy did a hell of a video with it, and that's how we got over there in Memphis as the Dirty White Boys.
That is awesome. Wow. Okay, so I have this amazing story that Tony has told me on a podcast before.
Oh my God.
And it essentially is it's a sentence, and I want you to elaborate on this sentence, okay? So whenever you two would
I can imagine what's coming.
Whenever you two, it would be after a show, the beer is on ice, and you two get in your room, okay, and you're ready, and you say, put the boot in the window, white boy. Let them know we're here.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what that's all about. Okay, so I was the Grappler 1, right? I had the loaded boot with a big old heel on it.
Yes.
So everybody seen me come out. That Grappler, that's the one with that loaded boot. That guy kicks people and hurts them, busts them open, all that. So everybody recognized me with that boot, right?
Yeah.
And so we go to the matches are over. We go in Memphis, boy, they had some pretty girls, right? Come to matches.
Yeah.
We go to the room, we get our beer and ice it down. We get our clothes, hang them up, or wash them out in the sink, then we hang them up dry for the next night. And so Tony go, hey, put the boot in the window, put the cheese in the window. They call the girls who go to the wrestling match, they call them arena rats.
Right.
So we'd say, put the cheese in the window. That means get my loaded boot. Because the girls would be driving around the parking lot looking for where the wrestlers stay, what room they're in. I put that boot in the window. It wouldn't be 3 minutes. All of a sudden, knock on the door. Put the cheese out there, baby.
I love it. It's awesome. Oh man. Oh, that is awesome. Tony told me that story, and I couldn't wait to ask you about it.
That's great.
Oh yeah, that's a good story, bro.
Yeah, I love it. So August of '85, you show back up in Florida as yourself and as the Grappler, and there's no Tony. Mm-hmm. Tony, what happened? You and Tony just decided to do your different thing.
Tony got with that. No, Tony got with that. First, he got with the girl valet. Right. And he liked the dirty white boy gimmick. I didn't like the dirty white boy gimmick. I mean, I couldn't really portray. I can portray being a wrestler. I mean, I'm better at that in the ring and talking on the air and all that.
Right.
But as a dirty white boy biker, I ain't never even rode a Harley. So I ain't very good at portraying that shit. And Watts wanted us to go out there and putting dirt all over and oil all over our face before we're doing an interview. I said, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
I just ain't good at that. And if you can't portray something where it's believable, I mean, you get mentally in your mind, it's harder to get it over.
Right.
And so I knew I wasn't no good at that. And I said, man, I'm better with a hood. The reason they put a hood on me is because I could wrestle, I could talk good, but I had a plain face. I wasn't ugly enough to scare nobody. I wasn't good looking enough to bring a bunch of women in. So when they put that mask on me, then I had a character, and then it's people like, he's a wrestling son of a bitch, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
So, but with the dirty white boy thing, I look like a guy trying to be a biker.
Right. So, I see what you're saying.
Tony liked it. He got that girl valet, and they started having a little success with it. I said, Tony, it wasn't that we got mad. Tony, I'm going to go my way and try to go with the Grappler gimmick. He goes, all right, brother. And then even after that, he was in Alabama, and he brought me in. He talked to the Fullers. That's when they were running Alabama territory.
Oh, yeah.
Brought me into Birmingham. And they was trying to hire me as their booker. And they offered me, and we had an argument over the weekly pay guarantee of $100. And I said, you know what? If you ain't going to go up, I ain't doing it. So I was there 2 weeks, and I left. But then that's when Tony really took off with the dirty white girl and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it was just a mutual agreement. I said, I think I'm gonna make more money this way. Tony said, I think I'm gonna make more this way. I said, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, you two are still friends. I know y'all still are good buddies.
Yeah, we talk all the time, man. Buddy, I love Tony to death, man.
Yeah.
He's my brother.
Yeah.
I call him the dog.
The
Me and
dog.
John Nord.
Yeah.
The dog, yeah.
Man.
So October 85 takes you to world class with and you were there for basically almost 2 years. And do you have any good stories about Fritz and the Von Erich boys?
God, brother, I wrestled every one of them while I was there. I tell you what, one was where I almost got fired. Thank God Fritz didn't see it. He was there that night. We're in the Texas Stadium when they used to do those big shows in Texas Stadium.
Yeah.
So there's all these people there, and John Nord, we're good friends, the Berserker, right?
Yeah.
And so he was working as John Nord, the Barbarian at the time, and he was working a match with Kevin. And so Brody was the booker. I thought Brody was going to kill us when we got back to the back. But so we're on the 40-yard line. Picture, you go out through the tunnel, and there's a ring at the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Now you got another 60 yards all the way to the other end zone, right?
Right.
And so the people's in their stands, and they got all this ringside, it's packed with people. And so Brody says, "Hey, all right, we're going to do a pull apart on Kevin and Johnny's match. Manny, you're the first one out. Then you and then he's naming guys. Okay." That Nord is good friend. We were rooming together. We had apartments here in front. But he was waiting. He set me up. As I come running, as I cleared the crowd, he stuck one right in my sternum. A big kick, dropped, knocked the wind out of me. And I went down. I hear him going, I thought it was funny, right?
Yeah.
So I got up. When I got my shit back together, I come running with a elbow in the back of his head, about knocked his big ass down. Brother, he turned around and he goes, just like a little kid, he goes, "Don't you ever hit me that hard." He started chasing me, right?
Oh, man.
I took off running for the other end zone, and I'm running. I look up, I'm on the Jumbotron. Johnny's chasing me. All the way, I ain't shitting you, all the way to the end zone, he caught me and just pounded the hell out of me. He said, "Don't you ever hit me that hard." And he went back.
My God.
He went back and him and Kevin got into it again, and they went on to the pull apart. I figured when we get to the back, Brody's going to beat the shit out of us plus fire us over this deal.
Yeah.
But we got to the back, and Frank said, you, come here. We went there and said, "You dumb son of a bitches, what are y'all doing?" I said, he knocked. He said, "I don't want to hear you crying shit." He goes, "You know what? You're lucky Fritz didn't see it. Your ass both would be fired. If I didn't like you assholes, you both would be fired too. Now, don't ever do that again." I said, "Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir."
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
God. So but I had some good times in world class. I like working world class. When I was there, me and Rick Rude rode together a lot. I liked Ricky. He was a different type guy, but I got along with him. Me and Rick rode together a lot. One time, we used to work a lot in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
And when you go into Lawton, you got to pay a toll.
Oh.
$1 toll, I think it was, right? And then coming back, you got to pay a toll back into Texas, right?
Right. Okay.
And so me and Rude, he's the world heavyweight champion at the time, right?
Yeah.
And Texas, I'm the Texas heavyweight champion, right? So we get to we're pulling up, we get almost to the toll. And I said, "Hey," I said, "It's $1 toll." He goes, "Yeah, I know, you got $1." But no, he said, "I don't either." I go, "What?" I said, "Well, what are we going to do?" I said, "Shit, all I can make of Rick is let him keep the belt till we come back tonight."
Yeah.
He goes, "We can't give him the belts. It's old." So I said, "Pull over." We got it. We scrounged around under the seat. Finally found enough to pay our toll. Thank God. The world champ and the Texas champ couldn't even afford the damn toll booth. Crazy, man. That's a true story.
Oh, man. That's amazing. Okay. Oh, September of 87. This is the part of the show we've all been waiting for. So September of 87, you end up in Portland. How'd you end up there? And we talked about Don Owen in the start, but I guess talk about Don some more.
Well, Don was he was an old school promoter.
Yeah.
And he would never Don, one thing about Don paid good. You couldn't knock him on that.
Right.
But he would give you shit constantly about different shit. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that, but he's seen so much wrestling. He never worked, but he'd been around so much. he had a good mind for it. You know what I mean?
I bet.
He used to tell me shit like, you know what, Don, that's a good idea. I mean, I'm always the first guy to say, I don't care if it's a rep, whoever it is, you got an idea, it's going to draw, tell me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was always that way, you know?
That's
and
good.
Don would say, well, but Don Owens, he was bad about, for some reason, he didn't like Texas people because he said, oh, you bunch of bragging assholes, all you do is brag. You like Dick Murdoch, all you do is brag. I ain't bragging about nothing. Yeah, but anyway, so I come in to book for Don, and everything was going pretty good. But one thing we had a problem with, every Saturday you go and you sit in his office after the matches, and that's when he wants everybody to come in there so he can have that camaraderie with the guys and pay them, and everybody's joking and saying shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I had to sit through all of them because Don wants, when they're gone, we're going to talk over what you do next Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, so I got to sit through all of it, which is okay.
Right.
But I'm sitting there, and every week he waits till everybody get in there. Every week he goes, hey, I got one thing to ask you. Hey, Len Denton, the great Len Denton, the booker, first booker we ever had. If you're such a good booker, how come you can't sell out Portland Sports Radio? Hell, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snooker, they sold out. How come you can't? I go, Don, I just got here. I've been here 2 minutes. He said, oh, yeah. And this every Saturday I heard that. Yeah, you loudmouth Texans. Finally, I got pissed off. And I was there. I got up and I said, you know what, Don? This went all. I said, Don, you know what, Don? I said, I'll tell you what you do. You give me 6 weeks, and you and your son, Barry, I don't interfere with what I'm doing on TV. If I don't sell this son of a bitch out, I'll shake your hand. You don't owe me nothing. I'll go back to Texas where I belong anyway, okay?
Yeah.
He got up and stood up in front of everybody and shook my hand. I said, that's a deal. That's a bet. I go, oh, shit. And so I sat down and thought, on the way home, I'm going, I might have bit off more than I'm chewing this shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, he did let me do what I wanted to do, and thank you, good Lord, it sold out and turned away 600 people.
Oh, man.
And he couldn't believe it, and I couldn't wait to get to the other side after a shower and everything, right?
Yeah.
To go over there with the meeting again. I'm going, hey, Don, why don't you tell him who sold out the sport? Oh, Don was pissed. I said, hey, Don, you're the only guy promoter I've ever seen in my life that gets pissed off when he has a sellout. Shut up, you asshole. And he said, you know what? He goes, you know what? He talked like this right here. You know what? He tell you something, Grappler. 600 people didn't get in, so that you're hurting my business. 600 people won't come back ever.
Right.
I go, Don, if you were a good promoter, you would have had give him a half-off ticket for next week. Shut the hell up, you asshole. That's what kind of, oh, boy, I was messing with him bad, right? And so I loved it, but then I didn't love it at the end of the night when everybody left because he paid me last.
Yeah, right.
And he paid me the same guarantee I get every week, whether it's sellout or not. I said, Don, wait a minute, because we sold out Eugene and Portland. I said, you owe me another $1,000, old man. I said, are you kidding me? The place has never been sold it out, turn away 600 people, and you're going to give me the same pay.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't like it, stick it up your ass and forget it. I go, oh, really? That's where he stayed. I said, I'm going to tell you something, old man. I'm going to get my money back one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I got my money left. That's all I could do is take my money.
Yeah.
And so what happened was and I got fired over this deal. What happened was Don paid we had a landline at that time. Nobody had cell phones.
Yeah. Okay.
So he paid my landline because I had to call talent, and different stuff like that all the time.
Yeah. For
doing shows. And then he gave me an $800 a week guarantee and then paid my landline. So that was part of the deal. So it was about 6 weeks after all this. And then Fujinami came in. And that office, Japanese, and Don called me up, said they want to work the deal. You're the North American heavyweight champion. They want Fujinami to beat you and for it here, and then you go to Japan for them and you win it back. Yeah. That way we have a good standing with Japanese office and with trade talent. And I think I said, all right, let's do it. So we did it. And so then I got my ticket and I was going to Japan. And I saw this. Oh, Mr. Don Owens and that $1,000 he owes me, right?
Yeah.
I got over there. I called my old lady collect 3 times a day from Japan. Brother, when I come back, I got an instant phone call. Get your ass over to so-and-so restaurant. And when I walked in the door, sitting at the table was Barry Owens, Don Owens, and Roddy Piper. And Don was waving that bill. Well, he's holding that telephone bill. You know how much this summons is? $1,200, you asshole. I told you I'd get my money back, you old bastard. He goes, yeah, well, you got it back, but your ass is fired too. That's what I thought when I seen Roddy Piper sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyway, I got it because he was saying, you know what? Guess who my new booker is? I said, let me guess, Roddy Piper? Yeah, yes, right. He goes, he's better looking than you. He talks better than you. He draws more money. I said, you know what? Kiss my ass. I ain't got to sit there and listen to all this.
Right.
And so Roddy goes, sit in here, and he sat down. And so Roddy, I swear, I think I'm fired and everything, right? Roddy goes like this, look, Don, it'd be a privilege to be your booker. Appreciate you asking me. He said, but look, I got contract things with WWE. He was doing the Love Boat at the time, things.
Yeah.
I got stuff in Hollywood. I got all kinds of stuff going on. He said, but I want to see your territory go. And he said, and I'll be your booker. But he said, and there's only a couple stipulations. He said, one, he said, he said, I need an assistant. He said, I'd like to hire Len Denton as my assistant. Don always looked over at me and she is, son of a bitch, you. All right. Y'all better start drawing money too. and so I ended up come back with the same pay, the same thing. I got fired, and rehired in the same meeting.
Oh man, gosh, what a guy! Yeah, Piper's the man. We recently had Dave Sullivan on. He was telling us a story about y'all being in the Breakfast Club with Bryan Adams and stuff. But he was telling us a story about how there was a car trip y'all were taking, and Little Tokyo was sitting on a cooler, and y'all had a bit of an accident. Were you in the car? Do you remember any of that?
I was in a van.
Yeah, van.
And was that the one where? Well, I remember we used to do this. Little Tokyo would always want to sit in the front and sit on the cooler so he could talk with me and whoever's driving. He loved to talk to me, right?
Yeah.
I know we're always telling bullshit stories and laughing, and I'm always messing with him. And so every time somebody needs a beer in the back or whatever, they go, Tokyo, you got to raise up where I can open the cooler.
Yeah.
So he raised up and grabbed the dash. He had his little head against the dash, and I handed the beers out, and I shut the lid and go, sit down. And so we're going along. We got down there, had one beer left, and nothing but ice water in that cooler.
Right.
And so I thought of it. He's about 4 or 5 beers in, so he was feeling good. And it was freezing outside, don't mind you. I go like this, hey, Tokyo, raise up, man, I need a beer. So he raised up, and I sloshed the water around like that. And I said, I left the lid up, and I said, go ahead and sit down. He said, yeah, toosh. He went up the water almost to his neck. Oh, shit, he wanted to kill me. He come out there swinging at me. Oh, the other one was wrecked the van. I went, shit, I thought I shut that lid because you lied, son of a gun. You son of a bitch, you lied, Grappler.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
We're always messing him.
Yeah,
I heard that Sullivan, I call him Billy Dannenhauer, my big boy, big Bill. He's going to be at that show at the Expo in Portland.
Yes, so absolutely. That's what I was about to say. Portland Wrestling Expo 2, Saturday, February 21st, Holiday Inn, Portland Airport. You're going to see our buddy Len Denton, the grappler, gorgeous Joey Jackson, who Len Denton trained, Dave Sullivan, the Equalizer, so many great stars. I know you're excited about it.
I heard Scott Norton's going to be there too. Huh?
Yeah, I just heard that confirmation as well, and I'm sure they'll be announcing many more. It's been...
I talked to Barry Owens. I think Barry Owens might be there too.
Oh, very cool. Well, that'll make sense. Yeah, very cool. What are you planning? Are you going to take I told Dave that y'all should do a little segment where you could eat breakfast with the Breakfast Club. What do you think about that?
That's a great idea, brother. I didn't think of that. That's right. I forgot about the Breakfast Club. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I know you've done that with John Nord before, where you've had like beers with the Grappler and Berserker or something like that, right? Am I right about that? Yeah.
Well, we did the beers with the boys at JBL.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I misunderstood. Well, I'm sure you've tipped a few with the Berserker, right?
Oh yes, sir. I have. Yeah, believe me, you got it. But me and Big Bill Equalizer, we tipped a few too.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, he said that.
I would like to. Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good thing. The Breakfast Show. He was involved in all that stuff. I kind of tried to mold him right after Johnny. He looked the size and everything.
Oh yeah, he was awesome looking. Yeah, for sure. Well, Lenny, before we go, thank you so much for doing this. We have we have one more question and we're done. So take it away, Sheik.
All right, Len. So if you had looked back on your career and you say that was my favorite match I was ever a part of, what would that be?
I think favorite match. God, there's so many guys I work with. I feel bad not saying it, you know what I mean? But I think let's see, my favorite match. I would say some of my favorite matches, which I can't just pinpoint one. It's really hard to do. I had so many, but was like I would have. One time I got in trouble in Mid-South, and hell, one time I got fined. I got fined by Bill Watts $50 for laughing in the dressing room. I'm not kidding. No shit, it was on my check stub. -50 for laughing.
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe it. I wish I'd have saved it, but I got in trouble with him, and he said, "That's it, you smart ass." He said, "That's it." And then he told me, Grizzly Smith told me, "Bill's pissed at you, so this week, everybody you wrestle, you have to go an hour Broadway with. An hour time limit draw."
Oh, gosh.
And so I did it all week. I lost about 10, 20, 15 pounds that week. It was in summer. But I think it was with Jake, was one of my best ever, hour Broadways, and Jimmy Garvin.
Oh, yeah. Golly. Those guys are so two incredible but different wrestlers, but so incredibly good. I mean, let me ask you a question about Jake real quick. And I don't want you to put words in his mouth, and I'm not trying to get you to say anything. Do you ever feel like Jake was so good that he could go about 50% when you were going about 100? You know what I'm saying? Not saying you specifically, but let's say his opponent. Was Jake so talented in the ring that sometimes he cut it half off and would still be okay? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you know what? I believe you're right, because Jake had the charisma and the talk on TV and on the mic that really pushed him over the top.
Right.
But I remember when me and Jake first started, I was Len Denton. He was Jake Roberts' skinny, tall guy. He wouldn't know before the DDT came around. He started using that, and that happened.
Yeah.
He was just a job guy like me.
Right.
You know, but then he was always a good hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but I was going to say something about Jake. Jake had such a good persona and got over on TV with his rap and stuff. He was so interesting and novelty to the people. That's what really gets him over. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And,
he don't have to do that much. He don't have to do that much out in the ring, like you're right, because with his rap, he gets him over. He has got a certain mystique to him, is what I'm trying to say.
He definitely does. Yeah. And he, but I would say the guy that I felt like would go 50%, a couple of guys, and I'd be busting my ass would be Hardy Race and Tommy Rich. I go, damn, trying to keep up with these guys. Right? I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. I see what you're saying. No, that makes sense. Lenny, thank you so much, man, for doing this.
You're welcome, buddy.
This has been awesome.
Man, hopefully I see a lot of people at the Portland Expo.
Yeah, man. Sell a ton of gimmicks, buddy. Okay. Tell us all about it.
Hey, brother. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was the one and only Len Denton, a.k.a. The Grappler. We'll be right back to wrap things up with the Plastic Sheik on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
That's right, it's the talk of Middle Tennessee, the channel you love to hate and the channel you hate to love. It's Brian Turner from Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. And if you're looking for matches from Wolfie D to Jerry Lawler to Dusty Rhodes and the team that put a pimp before your eyes and a goatee between your thighs, Booty Call and Athena, go to lostwrestling.com. See, I made it easy for you. Brian Turner's VHS Rehab. Booyah.
Hi, this is Mike Needham, host of the Reckless Abandon Podcast with Mike Needham. We invite you to jump on your favorite podcast platform and search for the Reckless Abandon Podcast and give us a listen. I'm sometimes joined by a part-time podcaster, part-time co-host, and full-time wife, Tiffany Nicole. We talk wrestling, we talk pop culture, We talk local events, local happenings in West Tennessee, and a ton of other stuff. But be sure to check out the Reckless Abandon podcast. Find us on Facebook. Also, look up the Micro Group Podcasting family on Facebook and see some of our other podcasts we have out there. Until next time, make good choices and always remember, no dollar, no dice.
Oh, Sheik. Awesome episode with Lenny. I mean, that was no surprise. You know, Lenny's done podcasts before. This is not a surprise, but every time I get a chance to talk to Len Denton, I learn something, I laugh, I have a good time, and I just realize why I love this sport so much of wrestling, man. He's just a one of a kind. So what'd you think of Lenny?
Oh, he was great. Like you said, made you like say, hey, oh, now that makes sense or something, and made you laugh, and even probably made you cry from laughing. So it was a great interview. He's such a great guy and so giving with his stories. He's another one of those that he would answer the question before we even asked it sometimes.
Yes.
So it's amazing that people can do that just from. We'll mention something here and they'll go off our next 4 or 5 questions. So
I know
he's a great guy and loved hearing the stories, man.
Yeah. And as we've said this entire time, you've heard the commercial, all that. Of course, you can see Lenny and all the stars of Portland wrestling with Captain's Corner at the Portland Wrestling Expo, Saturday, February 21st, Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. Go there, be there, see them, all that. 100 years of Portland wrestling. They're celebrating it this year. It's huge, man. So if y'all are up in that way, definitely make your way to the Portland Wrestling Expo. They actually Nick announced Paul Ellering today.
Oh, man.
I know.
Oh, man.
As if you didn't want to go already.
Yeah. I need to check Oregon off my 50 states.
Start doing it.
Makes a man want to.
Yeah, seriously. But anyway, that's awesome. So good job, Nick. Congrats on that. And thank you so much, Lenny, for the excellent interview. Thank you, Joey Jackson. Thank you, Dave Sullivan. Just been a blast. And guys, we're not done yet. So just hang on. So, if you'd like to follow what we're doing, see what's coming up soon, I can announce that next week, Quinton Quarisma's back with us with episode 4 of This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma. And of course, if you're any good at reading calendars, that'll be covering the month of October in pro wrestling history. So make sure that you tune in next week for Quinton's next show of episode 4. He'll be back with us in full effect. And if you need to find out anything about us or want to see what's coming up or anything like that, go to @GMBMPW on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Thank you all so much for all you do, like and share and supporting all that good stuff. But most importantly, we gotta say I appreciate you for listening. So, Sheik, if you don't have anything else, I'm ready. What do you think?
Well, to quote Quinton, buy a shirt.
That's right. Yeah. Go to our.
I'm not stealing that line. That's just my one-time use of it. So
yeah, I understand. Well, hey, that's the way it works. So anyway, in the future, go to the Pro Wrestling Tees site and go find you a good Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling Tees t-shirt. Thank you so much. So for the Grappler Len Denton, the Plastic Sheik Jared Street, and myself, this has been Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling. We'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget.
Let me tell you something, Don Cost. Every wrestler in the sport of professional wrestling wants one of these pretty shiny things right here, brother. Because that means you're at the top of your profession when you carry a championship belt. Well, the Southern Rockers got away with carrying these belts around for a long, long time. But it's high time a team come along like the Grappler and the Buddha Dean to put these two young punks in their place, brother. And you're challenging us for a Northwest Tag Team title match next Saturday night. Well, either you got more guts than I ever thought you had, boy, or you ain't got no brains at all. Because Scott Peterson, everybody's seen tonight what a Buddha Dean or Grappler can do to you. Now, Steve Dahl, you want to run out here and mouth off on the microphone and challenge somebody for a tag title match? Well, I'll tell you what. Me and the Buddha Dean decided We're fighting champions, brother. Southern Rockers, if you want it, you got it next Saturday right here. But it's like this. They got a name for you. When you're the greatest wrestlers in wrestling today, they don't call you a great wrestler. They call you the Northwest Tag Team Champions of Buddha Dean and the Grappler. Beat us if you can.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
We'll see you later.
This has been a James Rock Street production.